Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Train of Thought is one of those party games, and I'm not a real big fan of party games, but there is a place and a time for them where I can have a really good time. Train of Thought is an intellectual party game, let's be honest, because it's simplistic in its rule set, but it's very difficult to play. It's very difficult to be like, okay, I need the train of thought of getting these clues together, and you need to do it fast. But I don't know that my mind works that quickly, and a lot of people's brains probably don't work that quickly either. And I find a lot of people stumbling over this one and like, I get what I'm supposed to do, but it's hard to do. And I think that keeps it from being a gateway game or what you're looking for in a party game. It's a little too difficult. It's a little too intellectual, I think, for most people to be able to trigger those words together and have the train of thought. So for that respect, for me, it's not really going to work. The rules are simple. I think it's cute. I think the pun of the name works. And I like the concept of it. Once again, I don't really think you need the game to play it. You can just play this in a car, I think, and probably have a pretty good time. So it's not going to play out for us. It was just not something that's going to work in a party atmosphere for us. So for us, it'll be a purge. Here is Train of Thought. It's a party game by Tasty Minstrel Games. It's got a pretty sizable box for what comes in here. You'll get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a single die, 6-sided die, a sand timer, and a whole bunch of these cards that will be in here. And you can see that you roll the die and it tells you what word you're going to have on it. Nothing really else to them. The train thing really doesn't have anything to do with it other than it's a pun. The components are okay. The cards are fine quality. You're going to be shuffling these up. They do have a nice little finish on them. Sand timer is fine, and the die is just as generic as can be. Box is probably a little bigger than it needs to be, as you can see, but everything fits in here nicely. So here's the rule book. See a picture of the components. It's very colorful. I think they did a really good job, and I do like the way this book looks. The game is super simple. It's hardly a game at all. It's fine. It tells you a little bit about how the words and clues, anytime you have, when you're giving clues, there's always all these rules about how to make it work. The rule book is fine. You need probably about a minute, 30 seconds to read through this, and you'll be able to play it in no time. How to play this game is super simple. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a deck of cards. You'll flip it over for everybody to see. And then what you're going to do is roll the die. And you can see 3 is government. And then you will take, whoever is the rule card will take a card and you'll see cycle. So you want to give clues. You can take 3 word clues. Government has to be one of them to get to cycle. So you might say voting, government, election, and maybe they'll get cycle. If not, let's say they didn't get it and they voted for something else. Everybody said something that was wrong. You would use one of those guesses, give 2 more clues, try to get to cycle as quickly as you can. You have until the timer runs out. If somebody guesses it before the timer runs out, the clue giver gets a card for a point. The person getting it correct gets a card for a point. And after everybody has gone twice, most points is your winner, which would be the cards that you have in your hand. And that's how you play Train of Thought. Who should play this game? I think it's an intellectual party game. So people who can think like this. You're going to need a lot of people at the table who can think like that, put the train of thought together, and connect the words pretty easily. I think it's one of those brain burners. It's cute. Once again, I don't know that you need the game box to play this. I think it's something you could just kind of play on your own, and it's more of an activity than a game for me. So a party game, but more of an intellectual style. If that fits your capacity of who you're hanging out with, this will work just fine. Purge for us.